these are some things to consider when you're entering backcountry skiing, right? It takes a lot of work. Like it's a very physical thing. It's more of an endurance sport than anything else. Welcome back. One of the things that I'd like to talk about on this channel is this idea that getting outside is really hard sometimes and you might not know where to start. In this case, today I'm going to talk about what I would have liked to know about backcountry skiing before I started backcountry skiing. For me, I started touring about 2 years ago and I knew nothing about what it was actually going to be like. I had frame bindings from someone I bought off Facebook, and then my boots were these really stiff Rossignol speeds, and they didn't have any walk mode on them, and I had very minimal training, or avalanche awareness or avalanche safety when I started, and that could have ended really poorly, but thank the Lord that it didn't. I had a friend walk me through a lot of things, but I just didn't know a lot about what the world of backcountry skiing was like. My first season was really rough. I ended up buying the wrong kind of boots for backcountry skiing, ones that were way too narrow. I had just like all this kind of broken gear that I was using. I didn't have the training or the people who had, I didn't go with people who had training or experience to begin with, and that really shot me in the foot for my first couple experiences. I tried my best, but it wasn't what I expected, There's actually ways to ski and really enjoy your time out there. But what I would also like to say is I think that there's a certain kind of person that would like backcountry skiing, and it's not everyone that loves downhill skiing. If you were to ask me at the end of that first season if I really enjoyed backcountry skiing, I would have said no. I would have said, you should just give up on this, do alpine skiing, and it's way better. But now that I'm 2 seasons into it and I've actually invested in the right thing, I invested in a good pair of boots that actually fit me. I invested in avalanche courses, and I've invested in just time, route planning, choosing the right mountain to go on, choosing the right people to go with. My time outside has been just a lot more phenomenal. Backcountry skiing is a lot like backpacking, but you have skis on you, and you have to almost drop the expectation that you're going to ski. Some days, you will ski, and if you plan well enough, you will ski, right? But it won't be powder every day. It's not chasing super steep terrain, jumping cliffs. Sometimes it's just mellow, low angle skiing, through the trees or whatnot. Something that's safe, something that you will return to. But because of the risk that is out there in the backcountry, you have to understand that not every day that you go out there is a day that you're going to be able to ski. And so having that mindset and expectation really helps. You can plan on, if you want to get started in ski touring, you could go to I would say a local mountain, and start skinning up. And some places charge for that, other places don't. The place that's near us doesn't really charge for going uphill access, I guess that would be. But there are places that might. What I would say is you have to be very conscious about the environment around you, which kind of gets into good qualities of a backcountry skier. To me, someone who tours, whether it's backcountry skiing or snowboarding, splitboarding, they're a person that is patient. Your expectations might not come to fruition, as I kind of previously described, but also there are various situations that you might catch yourself in. And if you're quick-tempered, then you could seriously jeopardize either yourself or your group. There's been plenty of situations where, poles break or your skins slip off, or you might get you run into a situation where a party member can't continue on, right? And you have to let go of this idea that I need to ski something, and you need to be willing to relinquish that task and ski another day, right? And that takes time and effort again. A backcountry skier should also have like a high level of situational awareness. There's a lot of planning that goes into skiing. Especially if you're going to a new mountain or exploring a new area, you're looking at weather reports, you're looking at just the wind, how the sun is hitting, a certain kind of mountain, what other, hazards are there, in certain areas. Yeah. And then while you're out there, the weather could change quickly. The condition of people could change quickly. Your supplies could run out. Your route might be cut off. There's so many different situations that might occur. Like, you have to really be thinking on your toes, on your feet. I think you think on your feet, on your toes. You should be on your toes. Yeah. You should be thinking on your toes. If you're not carefully thinking about things, then you might end up in serious trouble very quickly. You also should be a diligent person, someone who's willing to do the research, someone who is processing a lot of information and data as it's coming to you. In areas where there is a higher propensity for risk and avalanche danger, you want to be taking notes. You want to be making observations about what the snow is like. If you ever take like an avalanche course, like, you'll learn that there are various factors that contribute to triggering avalanches. And the biggest thing about just avalanche awareness in general is that, a lot of people go into this backcountry and they think that it's, anyone can do it, right? They think that what people actually think is that they're immune to an avalanche, kind of happening, which is definitely not the case in a lot of the terrain that you can possibly ski in. A person who is a part of a party that is going into the backcountry should also be a good communicator as well. I've found in myself that the times that I don't communicate about things are the times when things kind of end up getting in trouble, or at least like I get in trouble. So if I'm having pain or if I'm feeling fatigued, it's important to relay that to the rest of the group. And kind of with that same mentality, like, in order to ski with a group, like, you should really be sort of humble, not only humble to expertise of those who might have more knowledge or experience than you, but also just like humble to yourself and just really know yourself and understand that, yes, like, I want to ski this thing, but I might not have the energy to do it. I might not have the skill level to do it. I might not be as prepared as I could be to do it. Yeah, and to me, if you are just starting out with backcountry skiing, it's not the time to prove to yourself, something. It's really about like learning and getting out there and just making those observations and really enjoying that time that you get to be out there, instead of like, I need to ski XYZ mountain, or to like, do even like some sort of trick, while you're skiing, or to make this time or whatever, right? Like, I think there's a time and a place for that in your career, but if you're just starting out, like, you should definitely not try to do that. I didn't have that mentality so much of going into it, but I did always want to push myself beyond what I could do, and I found myself getting into a lot of pain and hurt by doing so. Yeah, one thing that I would say is, I think that I would love it if everyone backcountry skied, or like experienced, touring in some kind of way or another. But I don't think that going into the backcountry is for everyone. You just need to be knowledgeable. You need to be safe. You need to be humble, and you need to really be diligent in your preparation in order to get out there. And I think so many people who have access to like a lot of potential backcountry don't realize that, and that's problematic because it puts other people at risk, and that's just a huge problem. There's a place in Colorado, and there's a pass by Winter Park, and people always trigger avalanches there because you can just pull off, and you can, if you have like skins, AT bindings, or if you have just like the frame bindings, it's easy to get up there. But often, people that die are the ones that are like, don't even know the avalanche is coming, and it's triggered by someone who's being unsafe on a ridge above. What I would say is, this is more of like just advice, not necessarily a PSA. I'd like to shout out the subreddit group backcountry r/backcountry. They were the ones that actually really pointed me in the right direction and reoriented my mind towards what it means to actually like backcountry, right? And it's a lot about the touring aspect. It's about just getting out there, moving your body, enjoying that time to move through the trails, move through the trees, up the mountain, and get some exercise in, instead of like going downhill, and just ripping it up on the snow. So, with that being said, I think in the future, I'd like to make more videos about affordable ways to get into the backcountry. So if you are really interested in that, I'd love to know in the comments below. If you have any feedback on this video, whether it's good things or bad things, please also leave comments below. I'm just trying to get better at this. This is more of like a creative outlet for me, but it's also something that I desire to like help other people go and play outside and move their bodies and enjoy creation. So yeah, thanks for watching.